Katie Pavlich is the news editor at townhall.com and a Fox News contributor. Marianne Marsh, former senior advisor to John Kerry. Great to see you both. Katie,
good morning.
Is Clinton playing
Greg.
the race card and the poor card simultaneously?
Look, Hillary Clinton is doing this for one reason, and although I'm glad that Chris Christie is calling her out on her ridiculous statements, let's not pretend that Hillary Clinton doesn't know exactly what she's doing here. She needs black voter turnout in 2016 in order to win, and the way that she's going to do that is by perpetuating this bogus race-baiting narrative that somehow voter ID laws disenfranchise minority voters. First of all, it's not true. Second of all, it's shameless. And third, the fact is that 70% of the country believes that voter ID laws should be in place to protect the votes of U.S. citizens. And so it's a losing issue for her. And unfortunately, she's deciding to go down that race-baiting route in order to get that demographic to come out and vote for her, because she's hurting for votes at this point.
You know, Marianne, it wasn't just Governor Christie, it was also Governor Kasich of Ohio who jumped into this fray. Take a look, listen to this.
If she wants to sue somebody, let her sue New York. In Ohio, we got like 27 days of early voting, okay? 27 days, a couple hundred hours. And in New York, the only early voting, there is none. The only voting that occurs is on Election Day. What is she talking about? I like Hillary. But I got to tell you, the idea that we're going to divide Americans and we're going to use demagoguery, I don't like it.
Well, Kasich seems to think she's sort of the poster child for hypocrisy. Is it a legitimate point?
It's not. I mean, the fact is, any day the Republicans are talking about voting rights is a bad day for the Republicans, because it's Republicans across this country, many of whom are these Republican governors running for president, who are specifically enacting legislation that is making it harder for elderly voters to vote, for minority voters to vote, for young voters to vote. Those are facts. And the fact is, voter fraud is a urban myth perpetuated by the Republicans. Of 130 million votes cast in the 2012 presidential election, 31 cases of credible voter fraud were identified, period. Okay. Look at John Kasich's Ohio in 2004. That cost John Kerry the presidential election because of the lines in Ohio, because they can't run an election, just like Florida.
Fair enough. You both had your say on the voting issue. Let's turn now to a different issue, because Hillary Clinton yesterday is endorsing a union effort to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. And let me quote her. She said, "We need you out there leading the fight against those who would rip away Americans' right to organize, to collective bargaining, to fair pay." And then, of course, she endorsed the $15 an hour. You know, Katie, over 500 economists, 4 of them Nobel laureates, sent an open letter to the White House and Congress last year saying, look, you do this, raise the minimum wage like that. You're going to cost a lot of American jobs. CBO says 500,000 jobs. And you're also going to raise prices for consumers. What about it?
Well, you know, look, Hillary Clinton will change her position on anything to go with the whims of what's popular. You know, unions have been organizing this $15 an hour minimum wage hike for years. It's not necessarily the workers at Walmart or at these fast food restaurants who are demanding this increase. It's unions paying people to do so. But real quickly, I just want to go back to the voter ID issue, because I think that we really need to clear up some facts here. The fact is that the states that have implemented voter ID have seen minority voter turnout increase. And there was a study from Congress showing that 700,000 illegal immigrants have voted in our elections, which means they can sway elections. So to say that it's a false idea and that it doesn't exist is just not true.
Let me stay on topic, though, the minimum wage here, because this really affects a lot of people, and not just the recipients of an increasing wage, but arguably a lot of consumers. You know, Marianne, Bill Clinton's chief economist at the Labor Department, Harry Holzer, is warning against doing this. I assume he's not going to be the chief economist for President Hillary Clinton. But look, what's your take on raising the minimum wage? Is she guilty of pandering?
No, here's another issue where the Republicans are the wrong side of most Americans. Walmart increased its minimum wage. They are paying their workers more. Walmart. So when the Republicans are on the wrong side of Walmart, and hold on, Greg, and Walmart is running ads bragging about it because they're trying to lift everybody up and give everybody a chance. And Hillary Clinton is right. If you work a full-time job and you work 40+ hours a week and you still don't make enough money and you have to get food stamps, that is wrong. We want people to work in this country. We want people to support themselves.
That makes enormous profits. They can afford this. But
by choice.
What about other small businesses who would have to raise the minimum wage? They'd have to fire people because their margin is so narrow.
Everyone said the same thing about health care, and that hasn't happened. We continue to add jobs. More people are looking for work, and everyone said that about health care. The Walmart and the Republican Party used to be the best of friends. When Walmart's out there bragging about raising their wages, that tells you everything about how far away the Republican Party is from the rest of America.
By choice. Walmart raised their minimum wage by choice because they had the margins and the budgets to do it. They did it not by government force. The government forcing this on everyone as a one-size-fits-all policy will, by the CBO standards and by Bill Clinton's economic advisor, decrease jobs
available. And they're in every state.
You guys are
They're
feisty today. All right, Katie and Marianne. Good to see you both this Monday.
See ya.
You know, some people are slow on Mondays. You guys are real quick. Thanks.
I love Mondays.
All right.
It's great.
Yep, me too.